All right. What's up, NEMT fam? It is your favorite person, that NEMT girl. And tonight I am back with another video. We are going to be diving into Reach Key. I am so honored to have the founder, the owner, Mike Luyckx, on with me tonight. We are going to be discussing his background, how he got started, why he got started, and the importance of his product and why it can help you retain your drivers. So, with that being said, Mike, it was so good to meet you at the NEMT conference. I definitely believe it was nothing but destiny for us to run into each other because we're here today on YouTube. So thank you for joining me. I want to dive into who you are. Give me a bit about your background. Just tell the people who you are.
Oh, that's great. And again, Taya, great to meet you there. It was a great event, and it just appreciate your energy and this time and space, right, to kind of connect. So I always like to start a little bit of a model that I came up with because I feel like kind of starting from the heart a little bit. And so it's two pieces. And the first piece is I love to, and it works both for my personal life and my business stuff, is enable ideal experiences and create moments worth sharing. Okay, so the enable piece is like I know love to enable like your business and what we're talking about,
Absolutely.
but also create moments worth sharing. Moments or this product creates a moment if you think about it, right? So it is a physical thing, so it creates a moment, and so yeah, that's a big thing. But I throw that out there, but that's a big part of who I am, and just a quick snapshot of kind of how I got here. Uh, Today I'm a driver. Today I actually drove about 11 people. So busy day today. It was an awesome day. I'm based in Michigan, work for an amazing company called Ride Your Way.
Shout
Small
out to
business.
Roger Way. Yes.
Yeah, they are amazing. And 2 years ago I started working for them, but I also 2 years ago started Insight Fuel, which is my consulting business for design, user experience, and innovation. And prior to that, I developed products for companies, working for big companies, small companies. And so here you go. What's amazing is for me is to be able the intersection of a driver and the work that I've got, my experience. And so yeah, excited to be here. And you already kind of touched on it. We're going to talk about Reach Key today. It is a product that's a patent pending innovation, and we're getting it out there. We're getting it into people's hands. Taya's got one. She picked one up. We got one for her. So I'm excited just to go through the details and the background, but I kind of like to give kind of a little bit of a inside view of kind of who I am and some of my motto.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I appreciate that. So you gave us a good background, but I want to back up just a little bit. So, because this is a good product, right? And this is not something that people would just, even for myself, I started my company just being a driver, and so you build it up, right? What was the moment that you said, okay, I'm driving, but I know there's something more that I can contribute? What was the moment that you realized that we needed this in our
Yeah.
industry?
No, that's a great question, and thanks for that. Right, I think I distinctly remember because I started in this role driving about 2 years ago. It was probably a year and a half ago, maybe. And I distinctly remember it was a Saturday, and I was driving a van that has a rear ramp. We call them rear loaders, right? A minivan, Dodge minivan. And some of these vehicles have these seats that fold in and out of the way, and they seem great. But when I went to reach the retractors, I happen to have one here, right? These types of retractors.
Our key
I
strength.
found, and I'm a proud, middle-sized guy. I'm about 5'8", right? I'm not big, I'm not small, but wow, I had a heck of a time stretching. I had pictures of me just reaching, and I just remember thinking, wow, like this has got to be better. So that background of design and user experience, I just started kind of the wheels turning. And I don't know about you, Taya, but when I'm driving, I pay attention to my drive and my patient that we're transporting, but I also have those times when you're just brainstorming, and I started thinking there's got to be a better way, and I think that's kind of how it started. I think some of the vehicles maybe had a simple piece of wood or something to push one of the buttons, but it wasn't. So I thought, there's got to be something better. So I actually, the version you're holding is like version 25. I'm actually on 26 right now because we keep making it better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was kind of the genesis. It was like, there's a problem here. And I was straining and stressing my back. And I figured if I'm having trouble, I was guessing other people were too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can attest to that because when I tried the product out, and we actually were using it in a rear entry van. And I actually thought that it would be more convenient in a side entry, but after using it in the rear entry, and I'm 5'8" myself, so I understand being tall and getting in. You know, I do go to the gym. I try to keep myself fit,
Right.
but it is a lot of wear and tear on your back, bending, back and forth to get in and out of the van.
Right.
And so just being able to lean in again, for those of you all who are watching, if you have not seen the YouTube video, please do so because you'll be able to see the demo of me using it with one of our clients. But it was definitely something that I feel, and we can get into this later, but would make you retain your drivers, because if you don't have automatic lifts, that's the easy way we can just lift the client up. And even still, it's valuable. It's a valuable tool. But for those of us that have our manual vans, it's one of those things we have to get in those confined spaces. And if you have a driver who is of a different, of a larger size, I will say, or may have had some type of surgery or has a disability themselves, but is very capable of doing this job, then this tool allows them to do it better and do it with a lot more ease. So, and I'm not just saying that because I have one. I'm literally saying that because I used it myself. And I'll be honest with you, Mike. When I saw it, I'm like, do I really need that?
Right.
Like
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
we can just push the button down, but
Right.
no,
Right.
it definitely makes a difference. It does.
Yeah.
It definitely
No,
makes
and
a
I
difference.
think to build on that, what's amazing. So there was another huge piece of research that we did that I did actually. Even as I was starting to concept this, I actually got the okay from the owner. Tom Sycamore was amazing, and for Ride Your Way, and he was able to let me. I talked to about 30 of our drivers, and including myself, as far as feedback, just on, like you described, the current experience, like not even this tool, like not including this yet. And what was amazing is overwhelmingly, I'd say for sure, people taller are like, I don't really have trouble getting there, and that's fine. Middle size and shorter for sure had issues. But what was to be the biggest finding with that was even the people that were tall, even if they said, oh, I gave them like a 1 out of 5 star rating kind of thing, right? And even if they got 4 or 5 for the current experience, they still said negative things. It's called negative sentiment. And so it's super interesting to me. Even if they said, it's okay, they would basically say, I can make it work even though I have to move the seat. I can make it work even though I have to do that. So they are almost like, they call the doing compensation for their behaviors to let it work. And so for me, it opened up and really confirmed that, we have an issue. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I again, going back to it, I can see how it retains your drivers. I don't think that you would have been able to develop this product without your firsthand experience of the day-to-day life of being a driver. Yeah. And that's why when I looked at it, I had my doubts. I was like, what does he know about it? But then I learned your story, right? I learned your story. I'm like, oh, wait, okay, so you really understand what we need because you're one of us.
Yeah, I'm right there. So, I used it. And what's interesting, too, with this is it's not for everybody. I'll tell you that, Taya, in the audience here. It's not for everybody, but everyone that uses it likes it. And that's what's interesting because I've given it some of our drivers. It should be for
everyone. I mean, if you're doing wheelchair transport, I think it should be for everyone.
Yeah, but what's interesting, again, some people that are tall, like I've let other people, I have a guy that's about maybe 6'3" or something, and he tried it. He's like, So I get it, right? But now it's not just height, right? It's like you said, it's maybe if they have back issues. I looked up, too, a little bit of research through this process, too, and I think it's like 40 to 60% of NEMT and drivers have had back issues. Right. So Absolutely. We know these are, like you said, what was awesome, Tay, is you actually came up with sort of a justification that I didn't even think about, retaining drivers.
I mean, yeah, because you have to think about it.
Yeah.
That's you may get a driver that came from a large company. They had these beautiful vans and they had these automatic lifts where they could just ride up and put the clients in. But they may have not been getting treated well. They may not have been paying well. And so they're looking for a way out, and they come to a company that may not be able to afford those
Right.
lifts, right?
Right.
So
Right.
how can they make that job convenient for that driver where they came from this upscale company, but you are a great company as well, but you
Right.
just can't provide the lifts, or you can't
Right.
provide that access that other company had.
Right.
This allows you to offer that level of convenience where it's like, hey, I understand that I do have manual vans, but I'm trying to provide the best experience for you as a driver as well.
Right.
I
Yeah.
definitely think this tool helps that, that's funny that you didn't even think about that in terms of a
No,
selling point,
it
but that's
it
definitely a
was,
good selling point for you.
yeah. Oh, what's interesting is, so you're both someone that drives, has driven, and also an owner, right? So you had a business owner mindset. I always think of,
Yes.
there's a thing called mental model. So you kind of see both sides. Like, I see the development side and the driver's side, but I'm not a business owner of an NEMT business,
Absolutely.
right? And so that's kind of what your mental model. So, so to build on what we're talking about, just you reminded me. I've been talking with a number of companies that we met at the show and everything, and there's a couple of them that build and modify the vehicles, and one of them actually said to me something similar.
Yes.
He said,
I
there's,
think I know who you're talking about. Yes.
yeah, but it was similar. He said, and I forget what it is. Some of these companies make automatic retractors where you can hook them up to the chair. And these are his words, not mine. He said to me, those cost about $2,000 to put in a vehicle, and to install, or about 2,000, and then about 2,000 to install. So he said roughly about 4,000 compared to, like, a mechanical, non-powered. He said, but this, he goes, we can sell that with the van. I was
Absolutely.
like, yes.
Absolutely. And
So
that's
similar.
That's another reason why I'm rooting for you, Mike, because you have a lot of different avenues that you can go with this, because again, this is a great tool that people need, especially a company like myself, that we are still growing. We have manual vans. We provide great service, but we want to make sure that we're retaining our great drivers. Pretty much we do a good job of that, in terms of retaining our good drivers, but we want to make their job easy. So what makes their job easy? And this is something that does make their job easy. So
Right.
I think we've talked enough about it. I want to show the people, if we can. I know you have a great presentation for us. I don't know which way you want to dive into it first.
Yeah,
the presentation.
Let me dive into it, and
Okay.
just to kind of spice it up a little. During your video, was it Miss Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the most surprising thing when you have people use this? Who gives you the most surprising feedback?
Honestly, I didn't even think that she was paying attention when I was doing it. I told her, I said, hey, Miss Brown, I'm going to set this camera up. I'm testing out this product, and just give me about 5 minutes, okay? And she was fine with it. She's one of our regulars, so she was fine with it. And then she was just looking as I'm setting it up and I'm doing what I'm doing, and she said, that's a good tool. And I'm so upset. I'm sorry, everyone.
Okay.
In the video, you'll see, but I had recorded it in like slow-mo, so the audio wasn't there, but she gave great live feedback. And so she was just looking and said, that's a great tool. I think I like that. I said, I think I like it too.
And that has been, Taya, the most for me, right? We designed it for the drivers,
Yes.
But for me, I was just so totally blown away. And again, that was completely unscripted. Like, you just, and I realize it's because they watch people do this day in, day out, maybe over years.
Exactly.
And they've said, they see a struggle, or, the personal space. You get close to them. Now you can kind of actually be a little further away.
Absolutely.
If I could do this, maybe if I could go through a few slides and then show the actual thing, because I think it'll set it up a little bit.
Absolutely. Go
All
ahead.
right, let me share my screen. All right, so yeah, kind of regarding what we're talking about, just to kind of set the stage, right? So obviously people in the industry are familiar with how these connect, the different retractors, I call them, right, or connectors, and basically how they might fit. There's 4 of them. The vehicle that we're focused on, and again, like we talked just a little bit ago, where the issue popped up for me and for so many, is that forward right behind the seat there, and I'll show a couple of our images to show that, the rear loader. Great vehicles, because they fit all kinds of people. And here's like a little bird's eye view kind of looking down, but there you can see them down in that pocket.
Yep.
it's very familiar. I kind of watch now as I drive around. I see other vehicles. Now there's me. Again, you can see my back
Hey,
just
Mike.
arched. Yeah, hey, Mike. You can just see my back is arched. I mean, very painful. It's just reaching over. Other things that we didn't talk much about, Taya, is like time. Some people have to move the seat forward. You got to
Yes.
move the other seat forward. So you're spending some time. It's not efficient. Here's another one. I mean, it's just like, okay, yeah, I can move that seat out of the way, but then I'm moving it back. And so, this is really kind of a great representation of, for me, that like this has got to be better. And this is one of the images that I use for our provisional patent. So that's coming. So you can just see that, difficult to reach. All right. So reach key, if you haven't had a chance to see it, I know Tay did a great job, right? There's two main components. And then we got this little strap here that kind of connects them. And so you did a great job calling out. There's a little notch here and then the little hook piece here, and they're identical. And we'll kind of walk you through how that is. So basically what you want to do is you have the two. So as if I was in the vehicle or outside the vehicle, I'm having trouble reaching. What you would want to do, right? You take the one end and you can push that little release button right there. And then you take the other one and you can pull it. You literally extend your hand and you can pull it towards you. Once this is towards you, you can actually grab it like this and maybe even hook it to the chair. So a couple ways to do it, but that's the basics of how it works.
And Mike, if you can stand right there, because I want to tell you how I did it and how I was able to use this to actually hook it on the chair, because it's funny you did it that way.
I was blown away. So did you hook it on this piece? This piece?
I did. I did.
So what I love about products like this, you can sort of find your way. So just like you said, you could do it that way. You push that release button. You could also hook it right on that part here.
Yep.
And pull it towards you. But the beauty is that you can do it here. You can do it in a couple of spots. It's designed to do both.
And that's what I loved about it. You weren't just limited to putting it on the hook. You can kind of play around with it, and whatever your preference is and whatever you feel most comfortable with, you can do it that way. So, Mike, I want to thank you so much for that breakdown. I definitely feel that you put a lot of thought into this product. And I, again, am so excited to see the heights that you will soar with this, because I want to say I was one of the ones that saw it first. And so, no, seriously, it is one of those things that, it's needed for the industry. It's definitely a cross-section thing where it's not just for providers. It's for companies who are selling the vans. It's for companies who are selling the restraints, so it's not just with providers. So I'm very excited to see where you're going with this. So that leads me into my next question. What are you hoping to see with Reach Key? Not just the heights that will soar with the partnerships that you'll connect, but also the lives that you will affect with the timeliness. We're able to get clients faster. We're able to retain our good drivers so our clients can see the same driver after time after time. So what are you hoping to see with your product?
I think you described it, but I think exactly to build on that is just knowing that the intent with this, in fact, the other motto we have with this is help others, right? So this idea of really it's more than just a tool, but it's going to help from a business standpoint. You're going to have folks like yourself, business owners, to the individuals that drive. And really the big message here, what I want out of this is to get the message out, because what I'm finding in a good way, this is a unicorn, right? You described it. It kind of like, where does it live? So we're having great conversations with organizations that are, they want to put it on their, for example, on their website. Those are places for me and for us as we're doing this to really get it in the hands of the people that can help the most, because in the end, it does all those things we talked about. It makes it easier to reach. It's time savings, and really it propels it further, because I'm just getting started, Taya. There's more coming.
I know you are.
Yeah, this is sort of just the tip of the iceberg, and to help convey, this is to help others and help them grow and help them move forward. And so what I'm blown away is the industry is everything from people that own one vehicle to talk with a company and they have thousands, right? So, the vision is just get it out, get it out because we know it works, and those that use it, they love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell the people how they can find you, how they can connect with you, how they can order this product because
Yep.
it's a great one to have. So let them know that
Thank you.
information.
Thank you. And so, yeah, so I have a website, and I think we'll be able to probably put up the QR code maybe during the video.
Absolutely.
I can send
Absolutely.
you
We'll
that.
embed it into the video so you all can see it.
Yeah. So just like you've been showing it, it's it's about 15 inches long, just so people can know the size of it. And we do have a site, and it's insightfuel.square.site, and we'll share that QR code. If you go right there, you can order it. We're making them right here in Michigan, and say you want a big order, you can. There's a way you can message me through there, and we can have a conversation. For the smaller orders, we're able to kind of turn those around. But yeah, that's the best place to go. And if you want videos and further, well, Taya's got some stuff. We have a link to the videos on the website. That's a store. But that's the best way to get it. That's the best way to get it. And people have questions. I love answering questions and getting this in the hands of others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to reiterate the fact that this is a product that was built by someone who is on the road now, y'all. Okay? He told you all in the beginning, he picked up 11 people today. He had 11 rides. So I just want you all to put that in the forefront of when you're building your business and you're growing your business and you're trying to retain your good drivers, the things and investments that are important in growing your business. It's not just about sending your drivers out there on the road and, hey, go drive. No, because yes, they are making you money, but they're not going to continue making you money if you don't make their job easy for them. And this is one of the things that makes their job easy for them. Okay. So, Mike, again, I'm thankful that we connected at the NEMT conference. I'm thankful to have you on my YouTube show. Again, it's supposed to be live, but
Sorry.
it happens.
We're live.
I think it went great.
Thank you.
So,
I got two more things I remembered.
Yes, go ahead. Absolutely.
Is one of the other things that, let's be honest, as possible, if people are struggling to do their job, how do we know they're attaching these, right? And so I hate to, I don't want to call anyone out, but I mean, human nature sometimes, unfortunately, we don't want that, right? The safety of the passengers is forefront.
It happens. It happens
critical,
all the time.
but I'm sure it happens. So giving a tool and, the reality is giving a tool for people to do their job is important. And as you've seen, a lot of vehicles now are recording interior and exterior. And so I think there's an insurance part of this too, to say, look, we've given you the tools to do your job. If you struggle, here's some things that you can do to do the job. And again, I hate to think that negative side, but human nature, right? So that's another way to kind of think about it. But the other thing I was thinking about this one too, I was like, how do I explain this to people? And I'd love to see what you think of this. I think of this as like a good pair of gloves. A good pair of gloves. I'm in Michigan. You guys are down in Atlanta. It's starting to get cold, and to do my job, if I don't have gloves, I can still do my job, but it's not as easy.
Yeah.
So think of Luyckx as like a good pair of gloves. It's a way for people to do their job and help them do it even more efficient and feel better about it. And the bonus is the people in the wheelchairs think it's cool.
They do. They really do. Miss Brown, if you all look at the YouTube video, she thought it was really cool. So you are not lying there. I'll tell you that for sure. But again, thank you for that, Mike. Is there anything else you want to give to the people?
No, I think that's it. We could keep talking about, but I think just appreciate the time. Taya, I think again, you've been a huge supporter. It was great meeting you and making the connections down there. And I think you're bringing some great energy, and let's just keep it going. I'm excited to, I can't wait to be behind on shipping these out. That's what I need.
Right. Well, listen, after this, you may be. So you get what you asked for.
and I love questions, right? If someone's like, I'm not sure, shoot me a question. We can talk. I'm all about like the beauty of the feedback is what I love the most. Like this is not, and I never told you this. One of the main reasons my wife, I talk with, she's my partner, right? On this whole thing is I told her, I said, I'm going down there to see what people think. And if I came back and it was like, But people were chasing me down. And I was like, oh my God. They're like, that's the reach key guy. And I couldn't believe it. So for me, it was like, okay, yeah, I think it's okay. I like it. Or not just okay, I love it. But the fact that like you and some other people, I've got some trainers that are just loving it. They're talking about it. They're using it in conversations with people. So you asked me, one of the goals is to, get it in a training session where people trained on it.
You're not far away from that, Mike.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the great support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for all of you who are watching, please make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share this video. You may be watching it and maybe you're not in the industry, but you know someone who's thinking about it. It may be a loved one, maybe a spouse who's talking about NEMT and you're like, okay, let me help you with this research. Send them this video because you never know how you all are helping someone else build their business and get it right. Okay? So until next time, again, thank you all for joining. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Okay, we're going to show you how reach key works with a bit of a close-up view. There's two main parts to the reach key with a simple strap. And each side of the reach key has a little notch and a hook. So what you do, you take for the retractor, you push the release button with one of those, and you can grab the hook with the other, and you pull it towards you. You can also drop this reach key side and grab it to hook it to the wheelchair. It's that simple.